All right, here we are back at it again with Tactics Overland. Today we're going to talk about recovery gear. Today we're going to do this pretty much no script, no teleprompt, nothing. We're talking about recovery gear. The reason this video came up is the past couple of days I was out on a trail. I was going out there to record a video and came across a vehicle that shouldn't have been out there. And that was a Mitsubishi Eclipse. If you have a vehicle like that, that's not four-wheel drive, stay off the four-wheel drive trails out there. Let me explain what happened. Okay, I was going out to make a video on a product, and I was stopped to look at an area that I was gonna do a video, and I believe it was a Toyota Tacoma. It looked fully stocked, pulled up to me, told me that there was a vehicle that was stuck. It was stuck in like a wash where there was a lot of sand. And he asked if I had any recovery gear. Due to the look of my vehicle, he said he would assume that I have recovery gear since my vehicle was fully outfitted with a lot of gear. So I asked him, do you have any recovery gear? Because your Toyota is more than capable enough of recovering another vehicle. And he said he didn't have any. So I figure I would go help the person in pulling their vehicle from being stuck. So I got in my Jeep, went to look for that other vehicle. The guy in the Tacoma he disappeared by the time I got in my Jeep. So I went to go look for that vehicle, eventually found them. They were stuck in a wash, really deep sand. I have desert all around me where I live, so there's a lot of trails out there. So this person with this Mitsubishi Eclipse decided to take their Mitsubishi Eclipse with 20-inch rims and low pro tires off-roading out on the trails. And they ended up getting themselves stuck. And also found out by talking to them when I showed up there, they've been drinking. So I go out there, find their vehicle, look at it. It was stuck. The front end's front-wheel drive vehicle. The front end was dug really deep into the sand, way past the bumper. Actually cracked a lot of their bumper. Their skid plate was ripped off, everything. So I had to pull them out from the back. And there was a bush behind them, so I had to pull them out a little sideways to get around that bush. And I'll try to post a picture of that. So ended up pulling them out, took a couple of seconds. No big deal.
Tell me if it moves or not.
Okay, yeah, it's moving. Alright.
They decided to take off and still go drive all crazy around the trails out there. I think it was about an hour later, I decided to leave from out there, headed towards the entrance of the trails. Took the trails all the way to the entrance, made it to the entrance, and they were sitting at the entrance with the jack that was broke. They were trying to jack up the front of their car. The jack was leaning, it was about to fall over, and they had it halfway up. They had no tools. to take off the tire that was blown, not just flat, the whole sidewall was just ripped apart. So they were driving on it out there with the whole sidewall ripped apart. They had no tools to take it off to throw their spare on there. So I'm like, what the fuck? People come out here without being prepared. No recovery gear, not even tools to take off a tire to put on your spare. So I decided to help them. I was going to air up my tires because I was done on the trails. So I was going to air my tires. I decided to wait on that. They walk up to me and ask me if I had, I don't know what they're called. I don't even know if they still make them, those star looking wrench things to take off lug nuts. They asked for one of those. I don't carry one of those. I don't even think they make them anymore. If they do, I haven't seen them. I have an impact gun. So I get their lug nut key. I walk over there. I noticed their jack was tipping over. I was like, yeah, I'm not touching that or even walking next to your car until you straighten out that jack. So it's about to tip over. So they decided to rig it, or I don't know, they corrected it so it stood up straight. They jacked it up. I went over there, took the impact, did all their lug nuts, took them all off. I still didn't trust that jack, so I wasn't gonna take their tire off and put their spare on, so I left that up to them. I let them do it. I'll try to post a small clip of that as well. So yeah, it got me thinking, I need to do a video of at least basic recovery gear. I mean, there's a lot of overland rigs, there's a lot of off-road rigs that have like fully kitted everything recovery. I just have basic stuff because I know my limits. I know where I could take my Jeep. I know where I can't. So I just geared up and carry what I think I would need for my situations of where I go. So I'll show you that stuff right now. But I do got to say, I mean, anybody that plans on taking their vehicle off-road, overlanding, anything like that, carry fucking recovery gear. I mean, what if this was during the week. Nobody really goes out on these trails during the week. I mean, I'm surprised that I saw another truck out there. If I wasn't out there, who knows what would have happened to these two guys that were stuck out there. I believe it was like 109, 110 out that day, out in the open desert. So, I mean, who knows what would have happened to them. And on top of it, they were drinking, so they had no recovery gear. There was no cell phone service around that area. So they're lucky that me and that other guy were there. So let me get to it. Let me show you the stuff I take with me when I go out all the time. Some stuff I don't take out every single time. Depends on the trail and situation where I'm going. But I would say 90% of the stuff stay in my vehicle. So let's get right to it. I'll just bring these up since their situation. I would say everybody needs traction boards. Anybody that goes off-road, overlanding, traction boards. And these are one of the items I don't take out all the time. I take them with me, depends where I'm going, and I know I might need them. I will take them, but most of the time they just stay at home. I used to carry them all the time on the side of my Jeep, but I don't see the point of carrying that extra weight. They do have weight to them. So yeah, I think every overlander, anybody that goes off road, especially solo, traction boards. Then the next item, I know there's smaller shovels and there's a bunch of different options out there. Different companies that make really good shovels and a little bit smaller, but I like the style of this one. It's all made out of steel and aluminum. So I don't see it rusting anytime soon. This stays on my Jeep pretty much 100% of the time. This is made by Fiskars. It's a Fisker Pro. Yeah, a shovel. I could have used this to help them, but what's the point of wasting my time sitting there pretty much digging a fucking hole in the middle of the desert, digging sand out from the front of the car when I could have just pulled them out. So that's what I did. But shovel, I think every overlander, off-roader should carry. Let's get to, and this is what I used to pull them out, which had no issues. Pulled them out in a snap, easy. A couple of seconds, they were out of the situation they were in. It's made by Rhino USA. Yeah, I know there's many options out there, different companies, really good companies, more expensive companies. But this is what I came across. I reviewed a bunch of them. I read a bunch of reviews on a bunch of them. And this is the one I came across that fit my needs. And it worked perfectly, had no issues, pulled them out like nothing. No tears, no loose strings, nothing. So yeah, every overlander, anybody that goes off-road, a tow strap they need in their vehicle. And then it depends where you go. Not really more for desert, but more for like up north in the mountains. I got a tree saver, same company, Rhino USA. Has the max working load limit, the max load limit, all that kind of stuff right here, the braking strength, all that. What this is for, instead of, I do got a winch. That's one of the things I do have on my vehicle. That's on there 100% of the time. So if I go out up north in the mountains, I don't want to take the synthetic rope, wrap it around a tree. One, is destroying the tree. Two, eventually it's going to destroy my winch line. So got a tree saver, which this wraps around a tree. And then you just clamp your winch to that, and you can winch yourself out of most situations. So tree saver, I think every overlander and off-roader should carry. And then a jump starter. Depends on your situation. Say you're out camping or going off-roading and you leave a light on or a door open and it leaves the light on, or you're playing the radio or something, which I don't see the point of playing a radio when you're going camping because you're trying to get away from all that bullshit. Well, in my case, I'm trying to get away from all that bullshit, all that noise and distraction. But there's people that do. So yeah, jump starter, which everybody should carry, not just overlanders and off-roaders. I think everybody should carry in their small recovery kit, big recovery kit, is a jump starter, which also could be used as a battery pack. You could charge your phones, whatever else off of it. Common sense, simple to use, 2 buttons. You just plug this in and right here. Connect the positive and negative to your battery. Start your car. So yeah, I think everybody should have one of these. This is made by NOCO, which honestly, I use this more on other people's vehicles than my own, because I don't really need it, as I have a dual battery system, which if my starter battery ever does go low, where I can't start my vehicle, which it won't, is my dual battery, once it's 100%, it trickle charges my starter battery. So that's always topped off. D-rings to go along with the tow strap and all that. I do have a couple D-rings on my Jeep. Eventually I'll be moving to the soft shackles, but for now, this is what I run, is the steel D-rings. Yeah, this is the one I had them use to wrap it around. I'm not sure if it was the frame or their back axle of their Mitsubishi Eclipse, but it was under the back. They wrapped the tow strap around it and latched this around there and pulled them out. So if you don't have soft shackles, or if you don't trust them, get some D-rings. Then of course, talked about a winch, which I do have a 12,000 pound winch, synthetic line on the front of my Jeep. That's for my recovery too, or to recover other dumbass people that decide to take their vehicles that aren't 4-wheel drive out and get stuck. Some gloves. You need something to protect your hands. And then whether you're off-roading or overlanding, or just you keep your vehicle in town, most likely probably gonna eventually come across getting a flat tire, a nail on a tire, something around those lines. Carry a flat repair kit. This one's made by Boulder Tools. Looks the same as all the other major brands like ARB and whatever else is out there. Looks like it pretty much holds the same stuff. Then if you don't have common sense, meaning that taking your vehicle out on a 4-wheel drive trail where it's recommended only having 4-wheel drive vehicles, and you take a 2-wheel drive Prius, means you probably don't have common sense. There's instructions. Read them. But this kit comes with pretty much everything to be able to patch a flat repair, if it's repairable. In their case, they tore up the whole sidewall, had rips all over because most likely they were driving on it while it was flat. This one I have worked. So yeah, flat repair kit. Highly recommend. Pretty much for everybody. Put that in your recovery kit. And then, of course, you need a way to air up your tires. This is the air compressor I carry in my vehicle. It's a dual air compressor. I did a lot of modifications to it to, in my opinion, to improve it. So yeah, I have a video about all the modifications I've done to it. So if you want to see all the modifications I've done to it, go check out that video. And then same thing with tire repairs. Got this bag right here. This kit. Let's see. Got a impact. Every overlander, off-roader needs to carry an impact gun. And with this, I could just put a socket on there. And take off my lug nuts. Or if I need to do any other work, say something else breaks on the vehicle, this thing has a breaking point up to 550 pounds. So I can fix or repair most issues that I would need to while I'm out on the trail. Everybody needs an impact gun. And I do carry in this bag to charge it to it because, like I said, I have a dual battery setup. So I do have an inverter. So if I do need to charge it, I could charge it. But I do carry 2 batteries to it. So, and then also being out in the middle of nowhere, say a check engine light comes on. Even if you're not out in the middle of anywhere, even if you're just in town with the Prius or a Mitsubishi Eclipse, your check engine light comes on. I think everybody should carry something to check the codes to see why your check engine light came on. Doesn't have to be this one. They make smaller ones, simpler ones. This one's a little more advanced, tells you a little bit more. You could erase codes, has an app to it, so you could see what the problem is and how to diagnose it. But yeah, I think everybody should carry one of these. And then in this bag, I also carry, for the winch, the remote. Common sense, switch goes in, switch goes out. To let the line in, to let the line out. It's wireless. I don't believe this one's rechargeable. I think it has a battery in it. Has a magnet, you can stick it on to whatever so you don't lose it. But if the battery does die, I could attach the cable to it and attach it directly to the winch. So that's part of my recovery gear in there. And got that extra spare battery. So yeah, that's pretty much it for recovery. In my vehicle that I don't have right here, I do carry, I think it's a 3-gallon Dometic water tank. So I do carry, it's, like I say, I have desert all around me where I live. It's Arizona, so it does get hot. So pretty much all year round, I make sure there's water in there. I do have a Dometic refrigerator, which I always keep water bottles in there as well. And that refrigerator is on 24/7. So that's part of my emergency recovery kit. And if all this fails and stuck out there, no cell phone service, nothing, I do have a Garmin InReach Mini 2, which they do have different level of plans. Some of them you could just have it work for the SOS. Some of them have it where you could have a certain amount of text messaging you can do off of it through the satellite, which I have one of those plans. So if I forgot one of these or I'm stuck out there, I can send my location. I don't have to go straight for the SOS button. I could text whoever I need to text. I could send my location to that person and they could send somebody out to help recover me if all this fails. But yeah, that's pretty much it. This is what I think, at least the basics, what everybody should carry in their truck, their 4-wheel drive truck, if they go off-roading or overlanding. Or you could be one of those stupid fucking people like those people and don't carry shit. and get yourself stuck in a situation, 110-degree weather, and have no options to get yourself out of it unless if somebody drives past and notices you. In this situation, that's what happened. Like I said, it was during the week. Nobody really goes around this area during the week. That's why I went out during the week, so I could do this other video I needed to do that I actually didn't do, so I gotta go back out and do that. But yeah, even that stock Tacoma, it was capable of pulling this car out of the situation they were in. But the guy didn't have anything. He didn't have any kind of recovery gear with him. So, which I think is stupid, but there's those kind of people out there that think, I'm going to go out here, I'm going to go drive this trail, I'll be back in an hour. Most cases, most situations, that would happen, but there is those chances. You have a flat, you get stuck, no cell phone service, no recovery gear, nothing. So what's their next option when you're stuck out there? So I felt that I had to do this video, show my basic setup for the kind of overlanding and off-roading I do. I know my limits. I could take my Jeep. I wouldn't put myself in that situation where I go past those limits unless if I really had to. But yeah, don't be these guys. Don't be a fucking idiot taking your Prius, taking your lowrider, taking your Eclipse, two-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, 20-inch rims out on these trails that are only recommended four-wheel drive vehicles, because you'll end up in this situation. And like I said, these guys their day could have ended a lot worse if nobody was out there. So yeah, if you like this content, if you want to see more of it, I'll be posting a lot more content, hopefully more often than I have been. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification to get those notifications when I upload more and newer videos. So yeah, pretty much that's this video. Don't get yourself in a situation like these people. Carry some fucking recovery gear. Whether it's for you or to help somebody else. Like in my situation, I had to help somebody else. So yeah, let me know what you carry in your recovery kit. If you carry anything, let me know what it is in the comments. Let me know if I should add something to my kit, change something. Like I said, the D-rings, eventually I'm going to switch it to some soft shackles. So yeah, until next time, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.